MrTruck here. Yes, I'm in Malibu, California, out here in Hollywood. A lot of film production countries running around loose. I'm up here driving the 2018 Expedition with the new aluminum skin on it, EcoBoost, the 10-speed automatic, the electronic rear end, which is really cool. Took them off-road, going to take them off-road. Going to take them off-road with the FX4. And tow trailers, and we'll tow trailers with all three of these. The Max version, which is the longer wheelbase, bigger back door, more room in the middle row seat, and I'm going to try it with a four-wheel drive normal length and a two-wheel drive normal length. That's the one that has the maximum tow capacity of 9,300 pounds trailering. So we're going to do all that up here in the wild curvy roads in California along the ocean. It's awesome. It's beautiful up here. Great place to go off-roading. So come join us for the reviews. You're the chief engineer on the Explorer project?
Chief engineer.
On the Explorer too? Okay.
No.
No,
Explorer.
On Expedition.
So we had to obviously bring the styling up to more modern levels, and it was really started with the belt. The belt line we raised about 2 inches versus the prior.
Oh, it went up?
Oh yeah.
Does that mean less visibility in the glass,
No.
or what's that
Again,
mean?
I mean, yeah, if you have less, but then you bring in all the technology like Bliss, 360 cameras, and all that stuff. So you bring up the belt just like most of our competitors have done some time ago, and then you add the technology to make sure you have good visibility. Our visibility based on our internal metrics are better than what the GM products are. So that was key for us. But the belt started in
How much did that raise by? Was he say 2
about
inches?
2 inches.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it's usually, the old one was a 2-box shape, which meant a lot of pillars were upright. This wasn't as sloped, it wasn't as substantial. The roof line was more straight. This one actually drops in the rear. Of course, we had targets to ensure headroom and everything was adequate. And then the character line to try to make it look fast. This was, we wanted to maintain with, just like the Explorer and a lot of our SUVs, the body colored seat pillar. If you've seen the Navigator, on that one we have a single DLO.
Is there a name for the platform?
T3.
T3?
It's the same one that we have on the F-150. So the platform, at least the commonality between this and the F-150 is basically a pillar forward, the upper structure, the body structure, which is all aluminum, is common. And then there's, from a chassis standpoint, the front stub of the frame. Frames we usually design in 3 sections. The front stub is common, and then the independent front suspension is common.
So it's all body on frame, box frame.
This is body on frame, you know, for more towing and payload.
Right. So now, this is the LE. Is that what it's called? The long one? What's the long ones? Max. And you used to call it the LE or something?
It used to be called EL.
EL. Okay.
Extended
the
range.
L Expedition. Okay.
Yeah, and then Navigator was always just a letter L.
Right.
But we had the Max in Mexico, actually. So we just decided to call them all Max.
So you're the one that designed this and got rid of my favorite Excursion? The big whale is gone with 44-gallon tanks.
A while ago. Yeah, I
love that
comments
vehicle.
about that every now and then. Can you bring back Excursion?
Yeah, we
Back a
love the
diesel
Excursion.
engine? Yeah, it was based off the Super Duty versus the light duty F-150. So, of course, combining the styling, I wanted to make sure Studio had a lot of room to play, because this is what attracts people to it in the first place.
Now, was this your idea, raising the belt line, or was
No, it's a studio.
Okay.
I mean, I pretty much knew it was going to happen. I saw it happen on the Explorer. I saw it happen on the Everest. It's just, and it's not like we're the only ones. If you look at what Tahoe did, they eventually raised the belt as well.
Now, is that primarily for the aesthetics? Is that the
Aesthetics.
reason? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the same as the 150, though. The 150 is shorter, because I know they got the notch.
Yeah, F-150 has a similar belt.
Yeah, but they lowered it from the old ones because they knew the Super Duty was getting the same cab, so they had to try to get them somewhere in between.
This is about the same height.
Oh, it is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Except we don't have the drop glass.
Right,
Drop.
right.
Yep. Yeah, that's been kept exclusive for the pickups. And it didn't fit our styling according to the studio, so.
Now, does this have that backup thing that the 150 does? That Pro backup assist, whatever.
Yeah, Pro trailer backup
Pro
assist.
back. Okay.
You get to
the knob and
experience that
everything's in
tomorrow.
this one.
Yep.
Okay. Which means you're hiding the brake controller below that where I can't see it. Is that what you're saying?
We've raised them both.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Well, yeah, because they were getting pretty low there.
Well, ours we raised them, and because of that very reason.
Well, good, good. That's important.
So looking at the front, this is if you know the F-Series, the IP is very similar. What we did though is we improved some of the materials, but you'll see the registers and everything, but the center stack that's being hidden by the little pamphlet there.
Yeah, that is good. I'm glad you raised that up. That's good.
Those are all new because we have rear climate control and so forth.
Wow. Yeah, got a few more
We've added
knobs.
other switches, obviously, like you know, the power lift gate, and then this little switch here actually folds the rear third row headrest.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
one
good.
Of
That's terrible
one of the user
visibility.
experiences, if people are in there and they leave them up, and then
Oh yeah.
you're driving with less visibility. So I wanted to make sure that we had that ability to lower them.
That's good. Pickup crew cabs are bad about that. You can't see past the headrests.
The other thing you'll notice right away, possibly, is the rotary dial. So we have electronic shift. This is pure full shift-by-wire.
That dial is your shifter?
Yep.
Kind of like the Dodge, the Ram 1500,
There's on the
8-speed.
IP.
Yeah.
Yep.
Takes a long time to get used to that knob when you're trying to reverse and you're getting out of a mud hole. You're sitting there trying to figure that. Okay, maybe yours works better down there. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to see if we can find a mud hole
We'll
for
find
you.
a mud hole, see if I can rock out of it. It is weird. You're so used to shifting that big long lever. Now you got to play with the knob.
Yeah.
Shift the knob. Okay. Okay.
But you know,
10
electronic
speed now.
shifters are inevitable
Yeah.
with more autonomous driving and even the semi-automatic parallel, you know, the park assist. And when they become fully, you need an E-shifter anyway. So, plus the other thing it does is it opens up the space versus having our mechanical shifter, because just forward of that I have the media hub. This little door opens up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then in there I have the USB. We have wireless charging and so forth. The other thing too is I cover the cup holders, which is right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Getting pretty
And
fancy.
again, just to clean it up, and you know, with the price of the platinum.
Oh, this is a platinum?
This is the this is limited.
Limited,
Limited
so
gets
this-
the wood
Yeah.
covered, and then platinum gets even a little bit extra.
It doesn't have the VIN number engraved in the center console like the 150. What's up with that?
I don't know.
Now, does this show you the gear in the dash?
Yeah.
That's cool.
In the
I had to-
cluster.
yeah, Ford's one of the few ones that do that. I love that. Being able to see what gear I'm in.
I mean, I love the 10-speed. I mean, obviously, it's one of the enablers to get best-in-class fuel economy. But from trailer tow standpoint, I mean, it really helps the hunting and of when you're trying to find that shift as you're going up and down
Right.
the hill.
So does this? This does have a tow haul mode.
Yep.
What's the with the? They all have one engine. What is the? What's the axle ratio on this? Is it 355?
We have a 373. When
Oh, you
get-
do?
Yep.
Cool. So that would get your capacity, what, 10,000 pounds per
We're
trailer?
9,300.
9,300?
So the old one was 9,200, which was best in class. I think that GM's top is 87, and so we added another 100 pounds to this.
Now, is that with the long version, the
That's
max,
the-
or the short version?
That'd be the
'Cause
short.
you got less weight, so that's your capacity.
You know, it's gross combined rate.
Right,
So the
right.
4x2 short wheelbase gets the max tow rating.
Oh, come on, that's the one nobody will buy. Two-wheel drive, short one.
A lot of
What?
people buy that in the southern states.
I suppose I do. Can't sell them in Colorado, but I'm sure there's some state that'll buy them.
There you go. Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
How much longer is the wheelbase when you extended the length?
I think it's now around. I have to get the exact number.
And how does that compare with prior generation?
The long wheelbase compared to the prior is about the same, but on the short wheelbase, we increased the wheelbase versus prior by about 3 inches. And the reason we did that was to get a little bit more space in the second row.
That is a big door. Is that door the same size? It looks bigger.
Then the outgoing,
Yeah.
it's probably a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it looks bigger.
It's lighter.
Uh-huh.
It's all aluminum.
Oh, love captain's chairs.
Now, captains, of course, we have bench. The thing about this that our competitors don't do is we now have now have sliding second row seats.
Okay, cool.
Which to me was one of the first things I added to the program because of I wanted as much flexibility for people. I drive expeditions and I'm 6'3", so when I drive, my 2 6-foot sons plus they don't want to sit behind me.
Right,
Because I
right.
got the seat back. So one usually sits on the other side behind my wife, and the other one sits in the third row.
Really? They
When
fit
we're
the
on
back,
long trips.
6-footers in the third row.
Yeah, well, because the third row has a really good seating position, and I'll show you. It's not like the Jeeps.
Yeah, you lose all your
Is that a bench
support.
seat in the third row?
Yeah.
Or is it? Okay.
Yeah. And because we carried over the independent rear suspension, lowers our floor, so then we get a good hip to heel,
Wow.
so it's a more comfortable seating position.
Yeah,
Or-
you guys have been independent rear forever.
I know, and that's one of
GM
the
is
advantages.
still monobeam, aren't they? Still solid axle? It
Yep.
blows my mind.
So the floor is high, their cargo floor is high.
Yeah.
Ours is able to be lower and then, prevent things from rolling out. But I wanted this just so that it's just my own user experience, and everything else is that now I can slide it, and if if someone's shorter here, you can have a taller person back there. It's up to the customer to decide. So this was key. And then what that enabled then, because the other user experience was, I went through that life stage with child seats.
Oh, yeah.
I had to take
That's
them out.
huge.
So now they stay in. It just slides
wow.
forward and you get in.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to take the child seat out.
Oh, that is cool. So, with this had a bench, would it be seat belts for
Yep,
8?
eight.
8.
Yep, that's right.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Which is what we have today.
Well, that's
I
a
mean,
big bench back there. It looks like a big seat.
Actually, no, everybody gets in my way. I say, get out of the way, I got to deliver the program.
That's cool. Yeah, it's nice to get something that's not a minivan that has passengers for 8. Has seat belts for 8.
We got to...
Have to shut a door. Oh, there's even room back. That's the nice thing about the Max is you got extra room behind the seats.
get extra room. If I take out this mat. So everything folds flat from back here. One thing I did with the power dumping is, one other thing is whenever you would put the third row down, and if you forgot to put the headrests down manually, they would catch the second row seat. So I wanted it to happen automatically.
Oh, that's cool.
Just, it's an inconvenience. Plus, that same pneumatic I can dump, well, I was telling you earlier, from the front row. So a better visibility.
You can get a whole elk in there.
Yeah, you could get a couple out there. And these also fold. There's just stuff in the way.
Oh yeah, somebody put his camera bag there.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell that was. Oh, that's pretty cool.
The
Yeah.
key thing was to have those fold from back here in case you do need to load stuff up. So again, I think we did it based on our payload. You can get 14 to 15 sheets of drywall in here. Everybody talks about cubic volume, but at the end of the day, what's usable? So, and then you can close the lift gate because it's long enough. One other feature we added was this cargo management system. Now the long wheelbase, you'll see 2 completely different storage areas. This whole area over here is the jack. I put friction hinges just in case you had stuff in your hand, it stays up. We have little grocery hooks here, but they're not just for grocery hooks, they also are used to,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
if you have long objects, let's say everything's folded and you don't want, watermelons to roll out or lumber or whatever, then this is a rear bulkhead.
Oh, that's cool.
See, one of the things I wanted to capture is make sure that we prevented things from rolling out, or just cargo retention was the theme. And then we just came up with ideas based on research and our own practical experience.
Then the receiver hitch is hidden behind the plastic, huh?
Oh yeah, I had to clean that up.
Yeah.
This acts as a little table, but then the really cool thing is this turns into a shelf. Because we have a big box, and the thing was to compartmentalize it. So if I close this, if you had stuff underneath there, then you can lift the flip glass, and then things are right here instead of being
That's
all
a
the way
nice
down.
feature.
Well, that glass looks a lot smaller than it used to be. Is it? Looks.
Well, again, with the
It's-
belt,
Yeah.
yep. Still bigger opening than our competitors. And you know, the segment leader, which is GM products. So now with the long wheelbase, the seat is farther forward. So then I put in what I call the little speed lip right here. It just folds up to keep things from moving forward. Otherwise, on the short wheelbase, the seat's right up here, and it acts as a nice little shelf.
Yeah, it's one of those vehicles you got to read the whole damn manual.
Yeah, this has we put a lot into it. Not only the regular features you would notice, but then a lot of things just what we call the unmet needs. So
cool.
Thought out. Nice job.
Now, does this have the augmented exhaust?
we have engine sound enhancement.
Oh, is that what that's called? Engine sound enhancement. So it doesn't sound like a lawnmower from the inside, just on the outside.
We try to tune as much as we can. And like when you put it in sport mode, the ESE, the engine sound enhancement, does change for the sport mode. On the Platinum, which this isn't, you also get active noise cancellation.
Really? I thought the Limited had everything in the world. I thought that was like the very top of the line.
That's on the pickups. On the top of the line for the utilities.
Oh, you messed us up. So now we got the Platinum's the top of the line.
On the utility side, the Platinum.
What does it have? The serial number, VIN number written on the console? My goodness.
No, only from I hear from people from Colorado do we do that.
I know, we have a lot of problems. So this is the Max. I gotta see that. The Max. Mad Max.
Mad Max is right.
There you go. Cool. Limited.
A bunch of other stuff I could talk about, but I know you guys probably want to get on the road.
Was there anything special about the engine? I mean, is it more horsepower than the 150? More power?
It's more horsepower than the prior, so now the Platinum gets 400 horsepower, which is more than the F-150.
Okay.
We get 480 pound-feet of torque.
Wow.
The base is 375 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. So we gave a little bit extra to the Platinum.
Mm-hmm. So what's
the top of the line?
Yeah. What's the EPA on them? 23 combined, or
our
what are
best fuel economy, which is a short wheelbase 4x2, is 24 highway.
Okay.
20 combined, so best in class. 9,300 pounds towing, like I mentioned earlier. We wanted hand equation. We're bigger, we're lighter, up to 300 pounds, because again, all this is aluminum.
You got air suspension on the rear.
No air suspension.
It's all shock over coil or coil over shock.
Yeah, and then you do get continuously controlled damping, the CCD.
Okay.
On the when you get to 22s.
So you're saying bigger, lighter, and what were the other attributes?
Bigger, lighter, and more efficient.
And more efficient.
Oh, it's just all around. It's an awesome machine.
And equation.
Mad Max.
That's what I wanted. Just took me 4 years to do it.
Was this your vision 4 years ago, or did it kind of evolve? And what changed during the course of that 4 years?
You know, that's a fantastic. I've been doing utilities now for 15 years. So I was on the prior expedition, I was on the Explorer, I was on the Everest, and then doing this. So I think I'm getting better every time. So when I come in at the very start of the program, you know, the planning group gives me the basis, and then I change things up a bit, like the folding headrests.
Right.
I wanted that. The folding second row, all those things are added. And then simple things like cargo tie downs or handles in the headliner, because you need when you're moving side to side, right?
Yeah.
Because you got the handles on the pillars.
Right.
That's for ingress egress, right? But once you're seated, they're not as in a good of a position. So then we have, you know.
Oh yeah. The old shit handles
We have
everywhere.
grab handles here. Because that's what you need to
Sure, I'm an
prevent
old man.
roughing.
I need help getting in and out of these things.
Well, that's what this is for. So.
So hanging on and getting out.
Right. And then two, I wanted, again, just based on my research, I wanted a very flat floor.
Right.
I wanted a substantial scuff, so there's no question on where to put your foot. You see the handle?
I saw the handle. What does that handle do?
It's just molded in. It's for getting in, so I grab
it's just
here.
a grab handle. Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise people are grabbing cup holder and stuff on the quarter track.
headrest and everything else.
And that comes for free. It's just molded in.
That's awesome.
So it's all about watching how people use the vehicle, ingress, egress, and just because I do. When I'm dropping my wife off and she's got 10 minutes in the grocery store and I'm waiting for her in the parking lot, I just watch people getting in and out of vehicles and
Your
loading
wife
them up.
only spends 10 minutes in a grocery store?
That's in the short ones. Usually I have to go in and make sure she gets out.
Okay.
I usually call her and say, "Are you lost? Let's go. The game's on." Mechanisms for second row seats, because every vehicle gets a sliding second.
Now, where does the aluminum come in? Is it everything above everything?
Sheet metal,
Everything.
yeah. All the sheet metal. What is
Except for the chassis, I still have a steel frame.
right now? That's all that you saved was 300 pounds on this puppy.
Net.
I'll be darned. Of course, I know you reinvested,
I
but
saved more, but then we reinvested into a lot of features that, we needed to add. There's all the modules that go with the electronic features, sliding second row seats, they add weight. I added a reclining third row seat.
so with all these acoustical enhancements, is it quite? I see you got a lot of rubber gaskets.
I'll let you guys
everywhere,
determine.
so the noise level went down.
We, based on our numbers, we are best in class for interior quietness.
Well, that's good. That's good. When you spend that much money, you don't want to hear round noise or anything.
Well, yeah, you want it to be overall, you want the overall ambient level so that you can have a conversation with somebody in the second or third row.
You know what that's called? Intelligibility. You remember that word?
We measure it with our articulation index.
Yeah. Ford creates a lot of words.
Well,
They're big on that.
engine sound.
MrTruck up here. I'm pulling trailers in Malibu, California, all through the cool switchbacks. And we're using these CM Renegade trailers, these aluminum skin, which makes sense to the aluminum Expedition. That's new for this year, and the 10-speed is new. The EcoBoost has been with the truck, and of course now it's dual port, so you got all that with it. But that'd be a great combination to pull this aluminum skin with an aluminum skin horse trailer. And this is the 2-horse model. The driver's side of the trailer is the ladder to the hay rack. And this is where the drop-down doors are for feeding your horses, checking their halters, and giving them water. And then it's got this guard here that comes out, so you can slip that down. Then you can get to have more access. But if you're going down the road, you don't want the horse sticking his head out. So you put up the guard, and then you can get ventilation and be safe. The CM trailer has got, of course, it's an aluminum trailer. It's got the 2 doors on the back, which is much better than 1 door, 2 half doors, which you can get in there and you can actually see the mats that are in there. And this, it's got drop-down feed doors. It's got a center divider. It's made for 2 horses. All aluminum, LED lighting, plenty of ventilation. Heavy-duty floor mats, for your kick wall and for your doors. It's weighted up to 5,500 pounds. Now this side of the trailer on the CM 2-horse slant load, you can see these openings here, and it's made to put plexiglass in there. This is really popular trailer out in western United States because you can get more ventilation, easier to use, and it's nothing to putting those plexiglass in there. They've got little snaps on the end that hold it. And then it's got a hay rack on it. It's got a ladder on the other side. The hay rack is cool. You can put a lot of stuff up there besides hay. And this is your tack room. So you'd have, saddle racks in there, bridle racks.
And we got tons of pickup truck questions, right?
Right. Where do we go for the answers?
We go to the Truck Nuts book.
Because we're truck nuts. I wrote the book, Truck Nuts. We're nuts about truck. The ultimate guide to buying a truck, or to looking at a truck, or judging a truck. Whether it's diesel versus gas, new versus used, what your teenagers should learn about trucks, all that. You do all kinds of cool tests.
Yeah, we do a lot of testing. We do the iGauntlet, world's toughest towing test, up the mountain and down the mountain. We do MPG testing on the highway, loaded with trailers.
Yeah.
We do off-road testing. A lot of that data is in this book as well, and it's a one-stop shop for truck information.
That's true. We test trucks maximum capacity up to the biggest grades you can do on the interstate.
Yep.
So we really put them to the test. And you can get all the facts you can't find anywhere else. We do MPG tests, which you can't find on any sticker anywhere. So all that stuff that you can't find is in the book.
And you can find the book at trucknutsbook.com. There are links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all the other bookstores as well.
So read about your truck nuts.